Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast. Your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to a new episode of the Stuff and Things Podcast. It is episode 20 of the new show that comes out every single week on a Friday. I am Sam, and joining me to go through questions sent in from our listeners, it's Stefan.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, night. How are we doing?
Do you know what, that kind of covers it because I've noticed in the winter it's like, oh, good morning, oh, it's dark again, is it? Right, okay.
I love it when I wake up in the morning, it's dark. I drop the kids off at school, it's dark. Yeah. I go to work, it's dark. I leave work, it's dark. And I'm like, well, where the heck was the sun?
Yeah, well, to be fair, this time of year you don't really see it anyway. It's just kind of.
And I now live up north. It's even less.
That's true, you do. Up north. Yeah.
Up north, it's rain, or cold. Yeah.
However, all the people are lovely, I'm reliably told. Is that true?
Majority of them have been, yes.
That's fair. That was nice. You did that well. Because when we're off mic, you're like, they are all mother. Oh,
I cannot stand those assholes. Oh, hello.
There you go. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Oh, okay. We're gonna go for it, right? It's kind of funny actually because this is the Q&A show. So, just as a recap for anybody, perhaps you're new and you're joining us for the first time. Hello. We put out a new episode every single Friday where we discuss different topics, trying to keep them vaguely around TV and movies. We also will be, and have done in the past, various show-specific specials where we talk in detail about certain shows and movies. That will be more prevalent in 2026. We have done a Stranger Things special, which is out there, which is me and my daughter. Which if you're a fan of that show, Stranger Things podcast is out, which recaps the 4 episodes that were launched November now. And obviously the next set of episodes are on Christmas, with the finale to the entire season, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, UK. But yeah, that's where we're at. So every 10 episodes, we do a kind of, not a Q&A, but like a kind of send us in your comments from the previous set of episodes, and we will go over all the things we've missed. So when we're talking about these topics, we do try and keep the shows kind of on some sort of timeline, because some of them, me and you could talk for days.
Oh, God, yeah. We've done like the Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
The guy that made it, his name has now disappeared.
Bill Lawrence.
When we did that podcast, that could have been so much longer, that podcast.
Yeah, massively. And I mean, when we get into it over Marvel, when we get into it over Star Wars, the sheer volume of content and that IP is kind of, you really could go on and on. So we try and keep it condensed. So that does mean that often we finish these shows, we put the shows out and we'll get messages like, hey, you didn't talk about this. Some of the times it aggravates me because I'm like, damn it, we didn't talk about that.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, which is like, and some of the times as well, by the way, it's like so obvious. Like, oh, you didn't mention this. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't mention that. Oh no, that's really bad.
You are correct.
So this is kind of a fun way to keep us on our toes. Also a fun way to stay interactive, but also just to revisit some of the topics we've done. So we're going to do this every 10 episodes. So every 10 weeks, we'll have one of these shows. I will say, next week, the Friday show is the Christmas special, because it's the last Friday before Christmas. The following Friday is actually Boxing Day in the UK, in many countries. And we have a show for that as well, which we have pre-recorded, because we're going to be busy.
We might be doing stuff that day.
But there will be shows continuing throughout, all through Christmas, all through the New Year. Every single Friday there is a new Stuff and Things podcast. So this week though is the Q&A show. Like I said, we get sent quite a lot, which is wonderful. It's really kind, and I tend to put it in the kind of like 3 brackets. There's outright hate for me or you or something we've said.
We don't get that often.
Oh, we do.
So much more than I'd like. Yeah.
So much more than I'd like. And if I can ever work out how to ban my mum from emailing in, I'd do it in a heartbeat. We get outright crazy. Yeah, that's it. Outright crazy. Like, some people say some stuff that you're just like, oh wow, you're allowed to vote and drive. That's scary. And then we get what I like is the interactive stuff, which is, hey, listen to you say this. I think this. That's brilliant. I don't care if you disagree with me on that. Like, if you gave this opinion, I disagree because of this. That's brilliant. I can get stuck into that all day. And the amount of times when I'm sort of like a bit, because I'm a very lonely person, I will just like load up the emails and stuff, and I'm like going through, and I just spend an hour or two just replying to people. And I don't realise the time just flies. I'm like, oh yeah, that's an interesting point, reply. Oh yeah, that's an interesting point, reply.
Good point, well made, I've forgotten. Yep.
Yeah, good point, well made. Made me feel stupid. Oh, get your own show. No, don't do that. Yeah. Keep listening, please. So, I've narrowed this down to eight questions for this show.
Okay.
So we're going to open with a question from Lisa in Aberdeen, which is part of the United Kingdom, Scotland. On my printout thing, it says Aberdeen, UK. But I'm going to say Scotland because I know Scottish people are very particular about that. She says, listen to your show on show finales and wanted your opinion on movie finales. Should Endgame have been it for the MCU, for example? Please discuss.
Wow, what a first question.
So we did a show talking about TV shows and the finales, hits, misses, etc. We didn't really touch on movie franchises and the kind of final films in those.
No.
I'm going to say largely because they don't tend to stay dead. Like Matrix was kind of one and done, then it became a trilogy, and now they've added another film like 10, 15 years later. The John Wick franchise is getting more, even though they killed John Wick. Like, I don't fully... they don't seem to... I'll tell you one franchise which I always felt stuck the landing, and they've kept it there, and they'll probably reboot it as soon as I say this, to be honest with you. That's Back to the Future. I always liked that. It was a good trilogy of films.
It always worries me that they may try and bring that one back.
I always felt if you were going to reboot that, do it as a series.
Yeah.
Like leave the trilogy and do a kind of modern day series set in the same thing, like kind of, I don't know how you do it, but like as a continuation, not a complete and utter reboot. Because the funny thing about it is, of course, is he's in the 80s and he goes back to the 50s. If you set that show in 2025, you'd be going back to the 90s.
Jeez.
And yeah.
Oh, now, that hurt.
Mate, you have no idea. So, you think about 90s nostalgia in fashion right now, in music even. Like, my daughter's 17 and it's 90s everything. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, that's true. I've got a 10-year-old daughter who has just started wearing like Linkin Park baggy t-shirts and stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, I used to wear that.
It's when she's got the big chains coming out of her
pocket. Oh yeah, she's got one of those. Yep.
There you go. See, so the idea of that show would work right now, but that's not the question we were asked. We are not TV executives sat around making stuff, because if we were, we'd be very rich. Okay, we'll open with the example she gave, which was Endgame. Should Endgame have been it, full stop? Now, what's interesting is, of course, there's a lot of significant news about Endgame has come out this week.
Go on, tell the people. Because I only found out this morning when you told me.
Okay. So, it was announced, or it was rumoured a few days ago that Marvel would be re-releasing Endgame into the cinemas next year. It was kind of always reported by everybody that the sole reason they're doing this is to get another cinematic run to try and put it back to number one as the all-time grossing cinematic film.
The cynic in me does see that and go, yeah, that's clearly what they're trying to do.
Now, apparently, there might actually be another ulterior motive to this, which is the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige have decided that they actually want the next Avengers film to be a direct sequel to Endgame. So you are not going to have had to have watched everything in between. The film's going to completely fill in the blanks for you. And it is going to be a direct sequel, like so the Avengers film will be a direct follow-on. So much so that the rumoured opening scene to the next Avengers film will literally be the end scene of Endgame. It will literally walk from one to the other. So what was confirmed today is that indeed Endgame is returning to the cinemas next year. And what was also now rumoured as part of that, but not been announced, is that there is a new end credit scene. And so the rumour now is that Endgame is going to go into the cinemas, maybe 2 months later, the new Avengers film.
I'm really... Again, the cynic in me says, no, it's for the money.
I'm sure it is, don't get me wrong. The
other side of it is, I look at it and I'm like, if even they're admitting that we haven't got to watch everything that's come out since Endgame, is that them also slightly admitting, okay, look, we understand the last couple of years have been a bit crap.
They've already done that. They've already.
It's like,
I mean, they're not gonna say crap, and I don't think it's fair to say crap. I think they had a very narrow focused audience that they were aiming at, all the way up to Endgame. Yeah. They had a very, and that audience naturally grew, but they had a very, this is our laser focus. Due to Disney Plus, they were like, oh great, we can now do silly things. We can now do, we can expand it this way. We can do it this way. And it would appear that Disney said to them, we need content. We need 2 to 3 shows from you a year. We need 2 to 3 movies. There can only be so many ideas on the ideas board. And me and you said this, that some of the series they made would have been better as a film. And a couple of the films they made would have been better as a series.
I mean, I still sit by what I think was probably the worst Marvel movie so far, Eternals.
Yeah, which
Make
I liked.
that into a series.
Yeah.
I think that could run for multiple seasons and be really good.
No, I agree with that. I do agree that you look at the way that film was, it would have made so much more sense as a series, definitely. But I still quite enjoyed it. I know you really didn't, but it's still, that was a film I quite enjoyed. But I 100% agree. The format of it, everything, the way the history of each character could have been per episode, it just lent itself to a 10-episode season on Disney Plus so much more than it did a movie.
Yeah.
Because it felt so heavy. Like, it was so much. And I enjoyed it, but still, I do agree with you on that. But let's try and stay on this. Do you think Endgame, if that was the end of the MCU, would have been a massive hit? Well done, you nailed it, you stuck the landing.
100%, yes.
So therefore, do you think that's when the MCU should have stopped?
See, I have a very, very conflicting view on this.
Okay, bring it.
Yes, I think that ending with Tony Stark going full arc and Captain America going full arc and everything else.
Yeah.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
However, if you had stopped there, we wouldn't have got the other 2 Spider-Man movies, which are some of my favourite movies in the franchise.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have got WandaVision, which I think was a fantastic TV show.
Yeah.
There has still been some very, very good content come along.
Oh yeah, no, I love it so much, but yeah. Would we have still got it, but it not be connected? And what I mean by that is, Marvel Studios ending the MCU as it was would not have necessarily stopped making films.
I mean, if only we had something like there being a separate universe where these sort of events could have happened and we could have ended Earth 616 at Endgame.
Yeah.
And then had, I don't know, call it something really wacky like a multiverse.
I do think this is kind of where they tried to do that. but it's one of those things. Like my daughter watched from the first film to Endgame all the way through. Really enjoyed them all. Like really enjoyed all the film. Obviously some more than others, but just like really enjoyed them.
Yep.
And was a Marvel fan. Watched WandaVision when it came out on Disney Plus. Loved it. Was completely into it. Ready to go. She busy with school, life, etc. By the time she kind of sat down in the summer holidays, whatever that year was, to go, right, okay, let's catch up. It was like, okay, you've got this 6 episodes of this series, then this film, then 5 episodes of this series before that film, and she just went, nah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
and that's what
I've got
a lot
how
of people.
much to watch?
Yeah. Oh, I'll just watch the next Spider-Man film. Just tell me what happened. And that's the problem. They were pushed to make too much content. On your point, I think everything you said then, I agree with. If it ended with Endgame, 100% okay. But I still like a hell of a lot of the stuff that's come out. So yeah. I don't know. Have we answered? I don't know.
I can say if they had left it at that, I would have been so happy. Perfect finale. The fact they've carried on going, I'm still happy with what's coming out.
Yeah, that's fair. Can you think of another franchise then where you think they either did stick the landing, if it's indeed landed, or didn't?
I mean, Star Wars, they kept going with that. The movies, they shouldn't have. 1 to 6 was fine. We didn't need any more than that. It's fine. No, top of my head, I'm not getting any.
Yeah, see, the thing is, like I said, with the movies, it would appear, to me anyway, that they always revisit it. So it's like, even if I'm thinking of examples, like, oh yeah, that was quite good actually, how that ended. Oh no, wait, they added another. Oh yeah, and then they did this, and then they did that. I suppose you could say the Harry Potter films, because they told the complete story beginning to end.
They did that. Well, but it was a book first.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could say the same with Game of Thrones. Like they fucking missed the landing on that one hugely.
Well, that's a series.
Oh yeah, back to series, not movies. You're right. Nope, you are right.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully, Lisa, us discussing that was at least entertaining for you, even if we don't really give you a proper answer.
Sorry.
Moving on. So we have here. Looks like Barry via our Facebook page. He says, Tin Cup, Ford versus Ferrari, Rush, Longest Yard, Mean Machine, Escape to Victory are just some of the ones you missed. He had a longer list, but I cut it down to those because those are the ones I've actually seen. He's discussing the sports movies show we did, and I would like to point out that we only have so much time.
I'm glad you added context to that, because you just gave me a list of names and I was like, we missed them from what?
Well, I mean, they're all sports films, and we did
Go through those ones again then.
Tin Cup.
No.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, that's a fairly recent one, I think.
Rush. Yeah. Longest Yard. Mean Machine. Escape to Victory.
Mean Machine, is that the one with the monk in goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have mentioned that. Fair point.
Should have mentioned that one.
Should have mentioned that one.
I should have mentioned Escape to Victory, to be honest, because that film, when I was younger, like my dad would watch war films like every Sunday, and they'd always be on, and randomly that film was just on, and I'm watching a young Sylvester Stallone playing goal with Bobby Moore, Pele, Ozzy Ardiles, and then just loads of actors as well that I recognise, and I'm just like, what is this? Someone does, oh, it's Escape to Victory. They got to play a football match while they're trying to escape from a prisoner of war camp. I'm like, right.
Obviously, okay. Yeah.
How dumb am I? I mean, such a easy premise. But yeah, so thank you for all of those. Appreciate it. The next one's from Ronald in Crewe, United Kingdom, and he says, I liked your gaming show. I think you covered all of the key ones, but did wonder, as I know you're football fans, could there be a Football Manager TV or movie?
I mean, Christ, they can't even make a good game at the moment.
True.
For anyone that has played the Football Manager games and is a sports fan, me and Sam have both tried the newest one and both stopped. Could they do a team? I mean, they've done TV shows before, haven't they? Like, was it Dream Team was one? And there was I never watched it, but I remember it being spoken about.
Yeah, Footballers' Wives. No, is
that could be. Could they make a Football Manager TV show? I mean, basically, it's Ted Lasso.
I'll tell you the way you could do that, but I think there's a real life guy who's kind of done it, which is someone who's amazing at Football Manager, like wins some tournament, actually gets recruited by a football team to be the manager, and the show kind of follows it like a Office style, documentary sitcom of him.
That could work,
I mean?
and be very fun, and be cool.
Yeah, that could be funny. There is actually a guy in there. I can't ever think of his name. He's like coaching. He was like coaching in France and was like doing amazing.
Something Stills.
Is it Will Still?
Will Still, that's it. Now he actually gets quite upset if people refer to him as the Football Manager. Because he's like, I have done all of my coaching, I've done all my certificates, all my badges. Everyone just knows me because I did all right on Football Manager.
Yeah, well.
He's like, well, don't be good at Football Manager. It got you a job. Get on with it.
Yeah. I did always think it'd be funny to send in your CV, like, there's a job come up and it's like, well, I got, this club promoted in back-to-back seasons. Well, I've never heard of you. Well, let me send you my save file. Yeah.
I have done that when I used to live back down in good old sunny Southend.
You sent your CV into Southend, didn't you?
They got relegated from the Football League.
Yeah.
And it was a person that me and you both hate with absolute passion was the manager.
Yeah.
He got sacked, and I actually had a Southend save on Football Manager.
Yeah.
Where we were currently like mid-table in the Premiership after 7 seasons or something.
Yeah.
And I sent an email in with a screenshot of my stats as a manager.
You seriously did that?
Yeah, I did. I filled in an application form sort of thing. Because there was like you could literally find it online, the application form. So I did the application form, and when it wanted please upload your kind of evidence for blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
All I put up was the fact that I have once actually been an FA chartered manager.
Right.
When I was 17, and this Football Manager save, and I sent them over. I never got a reply.
Man, you're lucky.
Funny that.
What that reply would have been. Okay, so thank you, Ronald. The next one's
down
from
memory lane. Thank you, Ronald.
This one's from Vicky in Cardiff, Wales, United Kingdom, who says the Halloween special was fun. Sam, why are you such a massive wimp? I think that's cruel.
I will hand the microphone to you, Sam, to answer that one.
I would like to point to childhood trauma for 10, please. Yeah. I'm a massive wimp. That's cruel. I mean, I'll tell you why I don't like horror films, and I think it's kind of... So I grew up with older brothers who were a significant age jump from me. I think the youngest nearest to me was 6 years, 8 years, and 10, basically. So I was an impressionable young thing, like 3, 4, and they would babysit. And they thought it was hilarious to put on every horror film from the 80s you can imagine. Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, all of these films, and they freaked me out. Like, I would have nightmares and just... Like, I remember they watched Child's Play, which is basically a doll coming to life.
Yeah,
to murder
Chucky's
people.
not a horror film, really.
Shut up. I'm like 3 or 4 years old when I watched that. I have got stuffed toys in my room. I am then sat awake for night after night because every time someone turns the light out, I'm convinced the toys have moved. I am freaked out and traumatised, and my brothers think it's hilarious. My parents didn't think it was so damn funny, but, Yeah, so that's why. I just don't see the appeal. I don't see the appeal of scaring the crap out of myself. It just doesn't, not for me.
No, I am not somebody who thinks that, people go to the cinema to watch horror films. I'm like, no. I am not going to go pay hard-earned money to not watch a movie.
I also do like some of the slasher films. So I know it's a genre, but like, do you not feel that? Let's say you're going on a date and the world's like, okay, you know, I'll pick the movie. Yeah, you pick the movie, and she picks this slasher thing. She's like, oh, this is what I'm really into, and you basically go into the cinema or you're sat down watching a DVD or something, and it is just people getting mutilated from start to finish, and they're enjoying it.
You need to ask questions about the person you're sat next to.
Is there not part of you that just thinks, okay, that's worrying? So, taken any psychopath testing recently? Our next email comes from across the pond in the USA in a place called Texars. And I call it Texars and Carl from Texars because Carl says, in response to our show about animation but not for kids, Beavis and Butthead, you fucking morons.
Never watched it. Never got it. I've seen clips of it and I've gone, meh.
Cool. Cool. For you, yeah, I can completely understand the age difference between us. For me, it's kind of a cardinal sin that I didn't mention it. But, yeah, cool. I am Cornholio. Give me pee-pee for my bumhole. And that's all we shall say about that. But thank you, Carl. And you put it in such a beautiful way. It was lovely. Next up, we have Mark from London in the United Kingdom. And he says, did you do a pirate show simply so Sam can claim to be a pirate and not a farmer, you carrot cruncher? Thanks, Mark. Love you, buddy. Yes,
I don't even know where to go with that one.
Yes, we did. And that's I'm glad for the question. Yes, that was 100% why. Truthfully, I wanted to do a thing about piracy because there'd been this news article which I read, and I spoke to Stefan about it, saying piracy numbers have just gone crazy, and it's like they'd really come down. Netflix, Amazon, they'd kind of made streaming affordable, and people were like, oh, there's no point taking a risk, like giving my computer aids by downloading a torrent when I could just watch it for a few quid a month. Yeah, let's do that. Well, as the prices of all these things have just kept going up, as all the companies wanted to have their own platforms, meaning you had to have that one to watch this and that one to watch that. It's got so much more expensive. It's now at its highest ever level. So the whole idea of the show was that. And then I found out this amazing fact about why I do not sound like all pirates, but all pirates sound like me. Because when Disney did a version of Treasure Island in the 1950s, they cast someone who looked up the book, looked up that Long John Silver was from Bristol, so found out and did a Bristolian accent, and that has become the norm for standard pirate speak for all TV and films. He did a very good job, and therefore that's why. And I thought that was a fun fact, and I would share that because I'm from Bristol myself, so it kind of made sense, and we talk about piracy, etc. as we went on. So no smart ass. It wasn't so I'd not be a farmer. I don't mind. I'm getting used to the whole kind of a farmer and a pirate had a baby and it sounds like me kind of thing.
Sounds like you.
Right. Yeah. Hello, my lover. Right. So, next up we have Clive in Weymouth, the United Kingdom, who says, the UK sitcoms do all suck now, but our humour is still better than the Yanks. Prove me wrong. First of all, Yanks is a pejorative term. I don't think that's fair. But Clive said that, not me. I was reading his statement. We had a really good discussion on this because historically the UK's sitcom were just so strong, but the US just kind of in the modern, I think TV companies here just don't make them now because of they just import it. Like, oh, if the US are making 20-something episodes, we'll just buy the license to that rather than spending our own money on 6.
Yeah, I think there are so many.
Yeah.
So many, like, of these genres in America.
Do you think, sorry mate, I'm going to interrupt you a little bit. Do you think that that's going to change now? Because in America right now, there's so much media migration and integration. Like, so for example, currently there's a massive story going on that Paramount and Netflix are battling to buy Warner Brothers, huge studio. Warner Brothers also own HBO, for example, and therefore own the streamer HBO Max.
Netflix have just won it, haven't they?
No, so Netflix have won the bid. They are the preferred bidder, but Paramount are now trying to do a hostile takeover by buying share capital. It's all going on right now. It's all kind of crazy.
Yeah.
By the time this show comes out, we could have a clear winner, which is why I normally try and steer away from topical things. But
not us. No,
yes,
no.
Yes. Oops. Yeah. But yeah. So what I mean is, like, when me and you were talking about all those shows, like Friends, How I Met Your Mother stuff, they were all on different networks in the US.
Yeah.
Now those networks are being consolidated constantly. So, like, whereas Warner bought HBO, and HBO previous to that had like different things to it, and Warner whatever it is also has like CNN and different networks, and then you've got Netflix obviously is the streaming giant. They don't have network TV on their ownership, but Paramount does. Paramount has certain things, and obviously their streamer Paramount Plus. So it's kind of crazy to me. It's like, oh, okay, this is kind of mad, because if, for example, UK broadcasters have worked on this theory for a long time, well, there's no point creating our own. We can just take a pick from like the 40 new offerings every year from the States. Oh, hang on a minute, there's only 10. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now what do we do? Oh, and they've all got their own streaming platforms, which are global. So they don't want to sell us the rights to them because they want people to subscribe to their streaming platforms. Crap, what are we going to put on? Oh, I know, Bargain Hunt.
It's not the same, is it?
Not really. So I do wonder if that might change. We didn't discuss it on the show at the time, but I do wonder if they might have to start looking at that and actually creating our own content again, which isn't a bad thing.
It'd be nice to have it kind of bring back that kind of genre. And
I'll tell you what is funny, is me and you talked about this, and we talked about the fact that there really weren't any good UK sitcoms we could think of that are current. And I had probably anywhere between 30, 50 emails from people, and I think one of them gave an example of a show they thought was good. Everyone else was just like, yeah, you're right. Like, I tried to watch this and it was awful. I tried to watch this. Yeah, like, and because it was interesting because, like, my daughter watched a few shows, and like I tried to watch them with her, and I was just like, no, this is so bad.
This is not for me. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's such a thing in writing now, and I'm so critical about this. Is like the dumbing down of writing, because apparently, when you write a TV show now, producers tell you need to dumb it down because people aren't paying attention; they're on their phones. So you need to make the dialogue so straightforward that people can only be half listening and pay attention and still follow the show, because otherwise they're not giving up their phones, but they will turn their show off. Guys, rubbish. But it's their own folks. They're only paying half attention, and that frustrates the crap out of me. Like, I'm watching stuff and I'm like, really? That character said that? Like, that was so obvious. Like, that was so dumb. Like,
They're literally having to explain it to everyone.
Yeah. In essence, it's like shouting through the TV, like, hey, just for everyone who's watching their phone, this guy shot that guy, okay? It's like, oh
my God! Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but I think that's why. I think that's why I find it frustrating. I watch these shows, like...
So that is why they literally, like, you will have dialogue where you're like, well, no shit, Sherlock.
Literally, yeah. That is literally it. Yeah, it is so frustrating. So the final question put to us on our Q&A show here for episode 20 is from Leroy in, looks like, so it's another person from the USA in Washington. It just says Washington, USA, so I don't know if that's DC or the state. So apologies, Leroy.
Yeah.
Also, is it Leroy or Leroy?
Leroy Jenkins. Sorry.
Message me and let me know which one. And apologies if I'm getting it wrong, but I am from Bristol. So, he says, your topics so far seem quite safe. Do you plan on getting off the fence? Cancel culture, ? Woke go broke, ? Colorblind casting, ? Talk to me, he says. No, goodbye.
We will talk to you in private messages under an alias profile.
Absolutely not. I am This fence is comfortable. I feel good on it. No, I think anyone who's listened to us long enough knows that we have pretty strong opinions on things. I don't necessarily deem the topic safe. It's just we're trying to pick things that we're interested in talking about. Like, I'm never going to pick a topic just to piss people off. Like, I'm not. There's this book I read years ago called Controversy Creates Cash, and it's true. Like, we could have double our listeners and triple the hate if I was to start just saying random crazy stuff, like Jewish space lasers and things like that. However,
saying what?
Oh, mate, don't. It's a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
Okay, fine.
It's mental. It's like you say stuff like that, you get loads of people listening and all this kind of stuff. But it's just, that's not me. I just want to have a chat about TV and films and have a bit of a laugh with my friend. And people listen and they enjoy it. So
it's still kind of, in that sense, it still blows my mind that we are just two mates chatting to each other. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, we're like a good couple of 100 miles apart.
True, we are.
Apologies to all those people that think we're in the same room as each other. We're not.
Yeah, the illusion shattered. You heard the glass break then.
It went, that was it. I'm very sorry about that. But we're just a couple of mates that are chatting, sometimes absolute bollocks.
I like the fact that you said sometimes. That
sometimes,
made me feel better.
Yeah. But people listen to us, and it still blows my mind. Like, we have had some ridiculously high listening figures.
Yeah, crazy. Stadium filling stuff.
And we are just, we're two mates chatting to each other. We don't really want to get involved in that whole kind of woke, go broke and cancel culture and all that sort of thing. Because we really enjoy doing this, and as soon as we kind of start touching on that, we risk this.
Well, yeah, it's true, but also I do think it's a conversation that's done to death. Like, I can give opinions on it without a shadow of a doubt, but I do think this conversation is, it goes around in circles. I do think there is a kind of no right or wrong answer to some of it. Like, do I think that colourblind casting makes sense? In some fiction stuff, of course it does. When you're trying to portray something of actual historical figures, I think it's bonkers. That's just my opinion. I think when it comes to wokeness and stuff like that, when you put a character in a story who happens to be from any part of the alphabet mafia, and that character has a role in the actual story, and that role isn't just to be, oh, by the way, I'm queer, then that's fine by me. It doesn't bother me because that's just normal. That's life. This person's part of the story and they are this. Whatever. Yep. The amount of times, however, that the studio is like, okay, we made this film. It's a really good story. Damn, put a chick in it. Make her gay. As Cartman would say in South Park. Put a chick in her. Make her gay. And that's what frustrates me. And that's what frustrates a lot of people. It's not that I have any particular problem with any of this. It's just that's daft. That's not representation of the real world. You got this incredible show about Chicago coming out. I think it's on Netflix soon. And the poster for it shows a person with disabilities, a person of colour, and I think someone else, for the life of me I can't remember, or just like a kind of a businesswoman of that era in the poster. And a historian, easy for me to say, a historian for Chicago said, at this particular point that this show is set, which is supposed to be historically accurate, the odds of a disabled person living in this area of Chicago when the population was only this is 1 in however many. Yeah. The odds of a woman owning a business at that time is 1 in this. And the odds of a person of colour living there and being free and living their life is this. Therefore, the odds of all three of them being on the same road at the same time is the equivalent of being hit by lightning, winning the lottery,
and a shark eating your left leg on the middle of
literally,
the city.
It was odds beyond were astronomical, and it's just that is what winds people up. Here's a show historically, like there are incredible stories to tell from history for every race, every single person on this planet.
Yeah,
it's lazy to just shoehorn people in, and that's where there's frustration there.
So I saw a tweet the other day on Twitter, and it cracked me up. It was been watching telly. And I've got a fun game when I watch telly. For every commercial I see a standard middle-class white family on, I take a shot. I'm glad to report that I've now been sober for 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, this is one of those silly things where it becomes so obvious. People are just like, this is silly. Now, my daughter was a child actor. She did loads of commercials, loads of different things as a child actor, and she wants to be an actor as she grows up, and it's incredibly tough field. But one of the things we noticed is when she was really little, she was getting callbacks in casts all the time, which was wonderful, and she had such an incredible experience. And as she got to like 10, 11 years old, she was getting penciled, which is what they call it when you're sort of like, yeah, your audition was great, we want to hold you to do this job, and now it goes to the company to make a decision on who goes in it. And she was penciled, then released on, I think, 20 projects in 2 years. Of those 20, we saw all of them on TV, and all of them were, the casting was changed to a mixed race family, so the child had to obviously match the mixed race parents.
Yeah.
We had the scripts and all the original briefs for these, and that was not it. It was, like you said, typical white middle-class family in the UK,
yeah.
And the brief obviously got changed by the company going through it. That is tokenism, because that's not... that's just like a strange thing, and it's just become, like you just said, Dan, it's funny because now you have the kind of... It's funny, like, I got friends and everyone who just laugh about it all the time, because it's like, if you see like a Christmas advert, yeah, it's everyone's blended
There's
family.
White mum, white dad,
yeah.
black child. What?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Who's not spoken to the postman?
Yeah, Black Posty. We saw him smiling. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they seem to be doing it in everything now. Like, I know we're going a bit off topic, but you get the NFL. They've got, is it the Rooney Law? Or the Rooney Rule, which is like for every X amount of applicants for a job,
yeah, there
has to be at least one from the minority.
Yeah.
But then I'm now thinking to myself, I'm going, okay, now, if I was somebody of any of the minorities involved,
yeah,
and I'm getting interviews at NFL clubs as a coach, a physio, a strategic person, whatever, surely my first thought now is, did they like my CV, or was I the only person that fitted that criteria that they had to interview me?
Man, you've opened a can of worms there. It's difficult because...
and that's how... But that, to me, that seems like... It's almost like that's how the TV thing is going. Like, we must hire... Okay, we need to have this family in this TV show. Right, we've got 3 families like this, so, right, change their backstory because we need to fit this in.
The counter argument is there has been a white bias in TV, film and sports and business, etc. for a long time. Therefore, by instituting policies like this, it's a rebalancing. It's a debate. I mean, I don't think I'm right. I don't think I'm wrong on it. I just have an opinion, same as yourself.
Yeah.
And I do completely understand that point of view, which is, it's very difficult for me. I'm a white guy. For me to understand, like you just said then, surely you'd be thinking, am I getting this on my merits or am I getting this thing? I'd like to think you wouldn't even apply unless you know you can do the job. And the fact that you're getting that foot in the door because of this policy, I don't think is a bad thing, because it's just balance out inherent problems in systems where people are overlooked based on different things. We have it in my industry a lot with our own tenancies, because I work in property lettings a lot and stuff, things like that, and they do investigations on a regular basis where Mr. and Mrs. Mahmood will ring up and a property is unavailable, then the same company will ring back as Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and suddenly the property is available. It's so stuff like that exists day to day across all industries, across film, TV, and because of that, I do understand why policies are brought in to try and address it.
Yeah.
The issue is then, of course, it becomes you then have that debate of like, okay, well, where is the balance? Because they call it positive discrimination. I don't think any discrimination can ever be positive.
That doesn't feel like a word that should exist.
No, to me, it's an oxymoron. It just, like military intelligence. Boom, boom, boom. And on that note, thank you to everybody who messaged in. Yes, there were more. Yes, You're all very crude and rude people. You know who you are. And no, I'm not reading any of that out.
I tell you what, though, I didn't know it could get that big.
You're welcome. So, thank you to everybody for messaging in. Next week is the Christmas special. To answer the question I get asked more than anything else throughout the year, yes, there will be messages that people have sent in and feedback. Yes, it kills me every time we have to do it. But yes, I'm still going to do it because this was the most listened to segment in the entire year.
Backed by popular demand.
You're all incredibly cruel to us, but that's fine. We will be back kicking it, like I said, every single Friday, all through Christmas, all through the new year, into January and beyond. We'll also be dropping some specials about different shows and movies, just to talk about them in more detail. Keep an eye on the social medias for all of that. But like I said, Christmas special next week, so look out for that. I hope you enjoy it. Until then, everybody, you all take care of each other, and I'm going to leave you right now with Stefan and this week's final thought.
If you replace the W with a T in where, what, and when, you can answer your own question.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.